What is going on, YouTube people? It is a new month. That means we have a new PSA special. We also have gem rate data. We will talk about that in tomorrow's video. Some interesting numbers coming out from the old gem rate machine, especially on the emergent graders, the HGA and the tag bots of the world. But we have a couple PSA grading specials, and they threw a little bit of a curveball at us this month, pun intended, with Bowman coming out. We have $15.99. They're calling it the 10X special, 10 card minimum, $16 per card, $300 or less declared value, 50 business day turnaround time. Everything that I have personally experienced and all the comments that I continue to receive have been that they are absolutely crushing that number as long as it's not an auto grade or a vintage tier level. So I would expect those cards to move at a little bit of a faster clip than the 50 business days. I personally have been seeing about a month, give or take. It's been about a month since I sent an order, so things could have shifted since then. But this will be a popular month for grading stuff. Bowman, 2024 Bowman comes out in a week. May 8th, I believe, is the official release date. I have a couple boxes coming for that we will be opening up here on the channel. And a lot of that stuff is going to get shipped off to various different grading companies. The next one is the intriguing one if you are ripping a boatload of Bowman. I'm going to call this the Bowman Special, even though it's not called that. It is called Value Bulk Turbo. So we are turbocharged now, apparently, over there at the old PSA offices. This is $25 a card, slightly higher declared value at $500, but a 20 business day turnaround time. The only trick here is, other than the increased price, is a 20 card minimum, which would be a little bit tricky, I think, for your average Joe. But if you're repping a lot of Bowman and you want to race to be first to market, this feels like the special for you. Now, we have not seen a SGC special in a while. They seem to be about cleared of their little backlog. They had to start 2024 off. I've seen reports that the check-in process has sped way up and that orders are starting to come back a little bit quicker. Still not as fast as what they were, but they do seem to be improving a little bit. As always, feel free to fire away down below with current grading times that you are experiencing to share that with me and everybody else that is watching this video so they can kind of get a real world feel for what turnaround times look like across whatever grader it is that you're using, whether it's PSA or SGC or not. But will we see an SGC Bowman special? In the past, they have collaborated with Topps. This is prior to collectors coming in. In the past, they had collaborated with them to roll out those various Bowman specials, Topps specials, etc. We've not had one of those for a very long time. Be very telling to see if we get one of those for 2024 Bowman. That would potentially be another route you could go if you so choose, if they roll that out or not. Time will tell on that one. We will see. That'll be a very telling sign one way or another. But we have Turbo, a new Turbo Value Bulk super fast special here from PSA at $25 per card. If you're ripping cases of Bowman, if you're I got my case pre-ordered and I'm going to sit down and break it myself, I don't know how many of those people exist, or it doesn't have to be Bowman, but Bowman's going to be the hot release this month. And you got a bunch of autos and a bunch of refractors and numbered stuff and whatever else laying around, and you're looking to sell that as fast as possible, that's probably the special for you. The 10X special is, if you're not in a big hurry, you could go that route, or maybe you don't meet the minimum number of cards. I'm hoping I have cards to send off for grading. Ripping 2 jumbo boxes, we'll find out. You never know how the Bowman experience goes. I'd be happy to have some stuff to send in from that. I doubt I will have enough to reach the 20 card minimum, and I don't know that I care enough to play the game of racing cards there and back. I get that they probably want the 20 cards for the economy of scale to have the larger orders to be able to process those faster versus dealing with a bunch of smaller orders. I would have loved to seen this at 10 cards. I'd have been much more intrigued. But at 20 cards, it would be rough for me just because I don't rip enough product to get to that point. But if you're out there and you do, that is an interesting one to basically pay the line cut. You're fast passing. You got your Disney bracelet on. You're going to the front of the line because you want to ride the line or ride the ride quicker and faster than everybody else, and you paid for that privilege. Perfectly fine if you're willing to pony up for it. The 10x special is one I hope to be taking advantage of. I have a few random raw cards laying around that need to go off, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I hit something decent enough to want to send in for grading for the other special. They got one other one floating around down here. Regular special, $60, $1,500 declared value or less. This will be one to keep in the back pocket. Once again, I'm going to go back to the Bowman example. If you're ripping Bowman and you hit something pretty juicy, this wouldn't be a bad way to go. 10 business day turnaround time. Something a little higher declared value. Get that there and back. And get it to market. Maybe even package it up with a bulk submission if you have something like that. They also have a Star Wars special, a Funko special, and a pack grading special. I've never really been into the whole sealed pack thing. Funko Pops aren't necessarily my cup of tea. The only reason I would use PSA for Funko Pops would be if I had one autographed, and I am probably not getting an autographed Funko anytime soon in my life, at least not in person. If that's your thing, more power to you. Like I said, Star Wars special as well. $14 for that one. Only a $200 declared value, though. 45 business days turnaround time on that one. So those are your PSA specials for the month. We have not seen an SGC special for a while. We will see now that they appear to be winding down on their backlog what they have cooking for us. Beckett just rolled out their new pricing not too terribly long ago. I haven't seen or heard a bunch of people taking advantage of that. So far, their monthly gem rate numbers at a quick glance, I've not completely dove into those yet. Look to be about status quo, but it takes a little bit of lag time to see how those pricing specials impact things. And CGC has been a little bit quiet. We haven't really heard much from them in regards to anything. The other, we had a lot of grading news last week with the Ryan Hogue interview over on the Jeff Wilson podcast. I will be curious to see over the coming months if anyone else jumps on the Graders Notes bandwagon. I think CGC would be the obvious one. It is right there for them. Do they dive into that field? I'm shocked that they weren't first to market on it as is. It was like they really dropped the ball on that one. I don't think Beckett will because they have the subgrades and they're going to say the subgrades tell the story. They don't need Graders Notes. SGC is the intriguing one. Would they ever add something like that? I'm sure it would take some software additions. Maybe collectors will have PSA work the kinks out on that and then send it down the line. Or maybe they won't. We've yet to see collectors have a major impact on anything SGC is doing. Other than Ryan had mentioned in that interview, they were doing some back-end stuff in the fraud department. And he basically strongly hinted at SGC will have a new or slab sometime soon that Peter would eventually announce. I'm assuming that's going to be a national announcement for them, some type of slab adjustment. I don't think it's going to be a major overhaul based off what Ryan discussed in that interview. It'll probably be a slight tweak, probably some additional security features, but I think it's still going to stay around the same size-ish, maybe a little bit smaller based off his comments on that interview, but time will tell. We are fastly creeping up on the national, and that's when companies usually like to shake the snow globe rather. So we'll see what pops out of that. That's all I got for you boys and girls today. Nice little quick one here after the long video yesterday with all the tops nonsense. Gem rate data coming soon, most likely Friday, unless something wild and crazy happens on Thursday. That is all I got for you boys and girls. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.